Hello, everybody. Scott Zambelli here with Bardstone Publishing, and I'm about to be joined by Brett Pinson and Kevin E. Meinert, I believe, starting this last second here as we enter the final hour of Wretched Realms, the Kickstarter campaign. We're excited. We're moving along. We are fully funded. We hit the minimum goal, so that's exciting. And we are just awaiting here. They should be joining us momentarily as I just sent them the link. So with bated breath, we will wait for them to join us. But here we go. We got Brett Pinson joining us here. Going to add him to the stream. There you are. Hey, Brett.
Hey, how's it going today?
We are live, so no cursing.
Well, I can't stop the dog from cursing in dog language, so.
Yes, he's like R2-D2. He's been bleeped out.
Yeah.
We should add barking noises over people who are cursing.
Yes.
And there's Kevin.
Hey.
Awesome. Hey, we are live, just so you're aware for full disclosure.
So
what the foul, filth.
Yeah, what the fork.
And your filth and foul.
No Qbert speech, right?
Yeah, Qbert. Oh yeah, I forgot about Qbert.
I'd love to just want to see the translation of that game.
Yeah,
like actually spell it.
Maybe
nowadays you can get a subtitle version of it.
As a kid, when they write that out in comics and things like that, pretty much it was like, okay, if they wanted the S word, it was 4 letters. If it was a 5-letter word, it was this. If and usually they use like the $ sign, or they change something. So and you can usually what we're saying.
Yeah, you could usually figure it out. It wasn't rocket science.
Yeah,
that's right. So we are here. We're covering the final hour of our Kickstarter. We continue our roller coaster, though. We got a really good donation in, and then somebody else had to adjust theirs. So we keep hovering around this mark. We got to finish this out above 2,500 to get that stretch goal in there. So get in there, people. We got an awesome $40 reward that you get $85 worth of stuff for the $40. All rewards of $40 or more, you get a free sketch added to it, which $20 to $40 is that worth depending on the sketch. So yeah, it's some good stuff there. We got 48 backers. We're so we're blessed by all of you. We appreciate it, and we're there. 56 minutes to go, as you see on the screen.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Hawkins agrees.
Yeah.
Is that a pledge? Is he pledging somehow?
He's saying pledge or I'll bite you.
Oh, all right.
Where you at? Oh, there he is.
Is he gonna hop on your lap?
Yeah, he wants something. Come here. Where you at? There he is. All right, come here, buddy. Come on.
What's this? There's a cryptic link sent to us via Tina, also known as Producer B over at Hasm and the Fornies. So things are going well here. We appreciate everybody's support. The book is moving along great. I'll give a little quick peek at the current covers because they're awesome. Sergio Cariello, we were honored to have him join our project here. These are the inks that he did. So we have that as a limited edition cover. We are also doing an ultra limited. This one's only 30 total issues. It's a metallic metal cover. It's listed as a foil cover. It got upgraded to metal because once we saw what the final work was, we just felt metal. We had to do the upgrade to metal to really do it the justice it deserved. So we made the executive decision to do that.
Yes.
The sketch itself is beautiful. I could do a print of that.
Right.
Yeah, I love that sketch, how it came out.
Yeah.
There's my limited edition cover here. 100 issues of those. There's the unlimited. I absolutely love this. This is Sergio's inks with Kevin's over there on the screen. His colors. Love what you did there. Love this guy.
Yeah, it was great. It was so much fun.
Yeah. came out great. And talk a little bit, Sergio's he has an extensive background. He's done a lot of work with the Action Bible, the world's largest selling comic book Bible. He's done work with DC and Marvel, but he's also done a lot of great work with the Lone Ranger, which is part of why we wanted him on this project. Was we wanted to get that Western feel that he's able to grab so well and put it into this. Right. Talk a little bit about your process of coloring his work.
Well, I drank a lot at first because then actually it was great. I flatted everything out, which was actually, everyone knows that's a very tedious process. But after I got it flatted out, I'm like, all right, not so bad. Lots of little details. And I got everything done except for the sky in the background. And then that's when I started drinking more. I was like, oh, great. So I took an entire day and just went through all the old Lone Ranger books and was like reviewing how the colorist colored his work previously.
Well, one nice thing is Sergio does share a lot of his in-progress work. So you were able to find exact matches to what his pencils and inks look like compared to the final colors.
So he had about 20 or 30 different full inked pages that he had on his Facebook page. So I was just looking on the computer and I had the book next to me and I was flipping through the book to find the page and then compared to see how they had done the coloring. And the thing, and I remember reading the colorist name. I can't remember it now, but the colorist that they had for Lone Ranger that did that work was phenomenal. My God, what a great coloring job on that entire run that Sergio did. But I realized how much they would take exactly what Sergio did in his very heavy inks, which I love. But when it got to the background, they would knock those out and then just translate that into color. So it's exactly what Sergio would draw. They would just take out the inks and the pencils and then do it digitally. So once I kind of seen that trick and then I realized what they were doing, I did a couple treatments on the background and finally got it to like, okay, that's what I wanted it to look like. Because the first couple of goes I was not having it. I was starting to freak out a little bit like, oh no, what am I going to do?
And there was a little added pressure because you prior to this, you were a fan of Sergio for a long time. Huge. So that adds a whole nother layer to wanting to do this justice because you wanted to make his work, all of us in every step of the process, your work may enhance a project or it may de-enhance it. Right. And you never want to be the part in the process that ruined it.
Right. You don't want someone to bring that book up to Sergio at a show and be like, oh yeah, that guy ruined that cover for me.
Yeah,
like, oh, that was me.
You don't want him to put that in the trash bin and be like, yeah, let's forget that happened.
Right.
But
exactly.
No, you did a wonderful job. I sent him the link and he sent back cool with exclamation mark. So there you go.
I was super happy with the way I think it looks great as a standalone image. It looks great with the lettering. Sergio had that framed out so beautifully that it's just, again, he's a master at it. So it was just perfect.
Very cool. Yeah, it definitely came out wonderful. So we're thrilled with it. So if we don't hit the stretch goal of making this as a mini print, that's our goal, is to do this full color version as a 4x6 mini print. Everyone $20 or more will get it thrown into their rewards automatically. And the version we will be doing as a poster, it'll take off all of the logos. So it'll be the full artwork. So I love what Kevin did with the sky, and the downside to a comic book cover is the logos cover up that part of it. But he's got this wonderful transition from sunset into night sky that occurs. And then you have the clouds reflecting the sunset colors coming over it. And it just looks gorgeous. And I can't wait. We're going to offer this as an 11x17 as well once we get to Comic-Cons. And I think this is going to be gorgeous as an 11x17.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I think it'll be it's just a great image. Again, there's a lot of action and it tells a story in its own. That's the beauty of it. That's the old school way of doing a comic book cover. the cover tells a story, and you at least have an idea of what's happening here, and it makes you want to open the book and be like, okay, the Grim Reaper is after this guy. I gotta figure this out.
What's going on?
Exactly. I love it that it tells a story, and just the image by itself, you put it up and people are gonna get the gist of like, okay, I know what's going on there.
Yeah, and the colors usage is great too. You did a phenomenal job. It catches the eye. At comic book conventions, there's a lot of color, there's a lot of art, there's everything popping, and it's easy for stuff to be white noise. I think this will definitely capture people's eyes.
Yeah, definitely something different too. You don't get to see a lot of Western stuff. So, again, being a fan of that and the Lone Ranger, it was just awesome to do. So.
Yeah, for me, two of the things I hate drawing: horses and hats. And
right.
Hats are a lot harder to draw than people think. There's all these weird angles on them, and if you draw it too straight, it doesn't look right. And I remember when I started drawing this out about halfway through the book, I was just like, what? Actually, it was earlier. I had a little story. So the horse dies. I'll give that spoiler. The horse dies like somewhere around page 7 or 4 or something like that. And the reason why the horse had to die is because I'm like, I'm tired of drawing this horse. So I killed the horse off.
You just sped everything up real quick. Like, how did they get cars all of a sudden? Ah.
Oh, you couldn't hear what I said?
No, what'd you say?
Oh, so the horse had to die because
gotcha.
When I got to like page 4 or 5, I'm like, oh my God, I can't keep drawing this horse. So I had to kill the horse.
Yeah, I agree. It was okay coloring them. That wasn't so bad, but drawing them.
Horses are tough because
to make it look kinetic is hard.
You got that, and to make it not look like a mutant dog. That's usually my problem. They look like deformed dogs. So I had to put
it's a cowboy on the Resident Evil dog. Right? What?
Exactly. So I really had to put a lot of effort into drawing the horses, and I was finally like, I'm killing him. Goodbye, horse. So I don't even think the horse made it to page 5. I think I killed him on page 3. Then the sheriff had to come in. I'm like, oh, he's got to ride a horse, but I had him dismount really quick.
See half the horse, just the back end.
Yeah. Hey, Russell. Russell's joining us in the house. How's it going? We got to meet him virtually on Sean's podcast, Brett and I. So that was good. Speaking of Sean, let's give a shout out to Sean's podcast here, or Kickstarter really quick here. Sean's doing Scarlet's Field Guide to Cryptids and Other Creatures. You want to talk a little bit about that, Brett?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a great way to learn a little bit more about his universe, dealing with the monster or cryptids as creatures. They got quite a few people that are contributing to it, not just artwork, but a little bit of storytelling too. Of course, Jesse Noble is probably the most popular one on there right now, since he's got the best bio. Sorry, the dog is like trying to sleep here. It's hilarious. But Sean's killing it. 5605, 147 backers. I've been a fan of the Scarlet Huntress for a long time because I've known Sean for a long time.
I believe it's their 5th book, I think, in their series.
Yes, and the first 4 were told stories and things like that, and then this one is really getting an in-depth look into the world of Scarlet, her going around the world, finding these different cryptids, telling us there's a story told at each one. I believe most of the writing contributed to it as well. And I'm not looking at that page, so I can't really see exactly.
It says so. I believe Stephanie wrote most of it, if I remember right. Yeah. But it says 30 stories of adventures with cryptids and other creatures, 64 pages in full color, featuring artwork from 16 different artists and writers. So there's a lot of great talent. And here you see Sean and Stephanie here, who are co-creators.
And that's their dog Indy right there. Since I got Hawkins up here, he's looking at me like, I'm trying to sleep, dog.
They have an awesome list of people. A lot of them we personally know and absolutely love each and every one of them. So you got a great list there. So I'm going to grab the link and post it in the comments here. So if anybody wants to check him out, feel free, but make sure you go to our page and contribute also, because we only have less than an hour left. Sean has 14 days to go.
Yeah,
but definitely support him as well.
And treat it like a Comic-Con. You buy from us, then after you're done, you go to Sean's page, you buy from him, and then you go on to the next one, and you buy from them. So treat it like a Comic-Con where you have a chance to get some really cool stuff. And they got great prints. They got great rewards going on. They just hit a stretch goal, which they're really excited about. They got the Rodney Fight coasters, and then they got, I think another one just got hit here today or yesterday. That's so right. A lot of cool stuff. So.
Take care, Russell. Thanks for popping in and sharing our live stream here and our link to our Kickstarter. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that's good luck and hope you break the stretch goal. Thank you so much, Russell. What's great about our community of artists, and a lot of people don't know, is because you see us across the table, you see we're busy, we're all kind of independent, but it really is like a loving dysfunctional family behind the scenes where we all get along, we love each other, and we all help each other out with each other's projects here. So, So definitely want to give a shout out to Sean. Speaking of Kickstarters, I talked about this morning. So two of the ones came in. We've got Roadkill Rampage, which Rodney Fike did. I got that last week. And then this week I got Rhino Boom from Jacob Bear. So that came in. Nice. Really enjoyed both of them. High quality stuff. And I'll tell you, this is what I love about Kickstarter is, you don't get this from Marvel and DC,
No,
you just don't. Like Roadkill Rampage, all the goodie bag that came with it. There's an air freshener and a sticker and a coaster and a bumper sticker and a bookmark and a poster. You get all this stuff added in that, you wouldn't be able to get normally. But when you do a project on Kickstarter, you get all the freebies, all the extras, straight from the creator, as I would think Tigger would say, instead of the narrator, the creator.
The creator.
And a lot of the stuff we see through Kickstarters that we get is product that, for the most part, it's not going to make the mainstream, that you're not going to catch on the comic book shelf, things like that. And it's a very unique experience to check out and get to enjoy.
But where it does get the mainstream is the big companies like Netflix and stuff. They're looking to the small independents to find the next big story.
Yeah,
right.
They can't go to places like Marvel or DC because those guys have their own studios. So they have to if they want to compete against those powerhouses, they're looking at the small guys to say what's the next story. So you get in on something like this, you never know what down the road, even if, like going back to like Robert Kirkman and his series, he did multiple series, and Walking Dead is the one that took off, but the one that took off, it helped raise the values of all the other stuff he touched.
Yeah.
Right.
So something like Kickstarter, you're getting in on the ground floor of all kinds of awesome new creators who are putting out great content, whether it's us at Bardstone, whether it's Sean and Rodney over at Hasm and Sean's company there, or Jacob Bear with his, or, we got so many people out there who are doing phenomenal work. So it's definitely a great thing to support.
It's become the preferred way for creators to release their products. I mean, Kickstarter and the crowdfunding, it kind of wraps everything up into a nice bundle and makes it easy for the creator and the consumer. So it's just a great platform all the way around. And the evil diamond, that distributes all the comics, it's very difficult to distribute through home, and it kills a lot of the smaller companies. One bad comic, one bad investment, and a company goes under because of the cost of just dealing with diamond.
Yeah. Well, and the other part too is if you're a comic book collector, why are you buying anything from Marvel or DC? Seriously. Like, I had a collection. I ended up selling it off. My Marvel and DC stuff was worth pennies. And I had everything in great shape. But the reality is the vast majority of it, everybody's there's 1 million issues published. 990,000 of those issues are in mint condition and backed and double boarded and everything else. But the stuff you find on Kickstarter, these are true limited editions. These are small micro runs. And, our limited edition covers here are limited to 100 copies each. So, you're getting a true limited thing. If it takes off, that becomes worth a lot. So even if you're looking to be a true collector, this is far more better than, you think of the best stuff from Marvel in the last 30 years. It's not worth much because everybody has it saved. The stuff that's worth something is like Guardians of the Galaxy got big. Well, no one collected Guardians of the Galaxy in the comic book format. So, okay, that might be worth something. But you get like Spider-Man 300. Well, everyone has that boarded and in pristine condition, So, but
you end up with scenarios that like I always bring up. Stranger Comics is a great one, and if it does make it big, all those early issues are going to be, they're already going for insane amounts of money because they're so limited, but they're great books too. They just, it couldn't have happened to a better group of guys. They just got lucky and, got optioned by HBO to get some good publicity. You never know what's going to happen, what strikes fire, what's going to be the next hot thing. I mean, look at half the stuff on Netflix or Amazon. They're the subpar, I won't say subpar, they're the books from the smaller publishers or the directly from creators that most people never heard of until it pops up and it's a TV show now. I mean, how many people knew, even though The Boys was through DC and then through Dynamite, the majority of people had no idea what
I never heard of it. I know.
Unless you were a serious comic book fan and you're at the comic shop every week, you would not have known about The Boys.
Speaking of The Boys, did you see that? I shared it today. It's been going around. Somebody put together a mashup of Homelander versus Superman.
Yeah.
I've seen that pop up. Yeah.
That to me looked far better than Justice League. I want to see that movie. I would love to see Homelander versus Superman. We got to make that happen.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Homelander and Wonder Woman. That'd be interesting.
Isn't there a joke involving the invisible jet and the speed of Superman? And I don't know. I think that'd be Homelander in there. A Flash was the Flash and
right. Homelander versus Batman. I'm sure that would have ended differently too. So
Homelander versus Batman would last a half a second. I love Batman, but that the College Humor cartoons really revealed how useless Batman was. You see like Superman sitting there drinking and relaxing, and Batman's like running across town, breathing heavy, and then finally Superman's like, okay, I'll take care of it. Shoom, done. He beats the Joker in 2 seconds. Superman's talking about his arch enemies. And Batman's like, I was fighting the Joker. Oh, what's his superpower? He tells jokes. Superman's like, oh. Okay. What about the Riddler? He tells riddles.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Batman.
Yeah. I think
I love Batman, but after I watch that College Humor, it's never the same for me.
Batman and Spider-Man were the best thing about both of them were the rogues galleries.
Yeah,
that's why they're the two most popular. I mean, Superman's a great character, okay, but his villains are, you can name maybe 5 if you're lucky. You can name 25 Batman villains. And
definitely.
Spider-Man
the villain,
villains.
Exactly. You're right. It's the villains that are the. Mm-hmm. I think part of it is because they're more real world, the villains, whereas Superman's villains are so out there because you gotta have insane powers to even stand up to Superman, but I definitely love in The Boys how Homelander deals with anybody who confronts him. Just zaps them. Right. Yeah, he definitely holds no punches, so to speak. So that would be fun watching him against Superman, I think.
Yeah. He knows how to use his fist.
Yes. In more ways than one.
Exactly.
But he can do whatever he wants.
He can do it. I can do whatever I want. Sure you can, big boy. Go ahead. Just watch out for that plane.
Will the next season of The Boys have a Joe Dirt moment? My sister.
We'll see.
We have Joe Dirt back. Problem is, Joe Dirt became real life, and it was called what's his name? Joe Exotic? Is that what it is?
Right.
That's a real life Joe Dirt. It's crazy.
Yeah, he thought that movie was a real documentary. So
that's right. So here we are, Wretched Realms. We're down to 33 minutes. Dun dun dun. Let me put the link up. There we go. Posted it.
it is so close to 50 backers. So close.
We are. So some things to remind everybody about. All pledges of $40 or more are going to be eligible too. I'm going to do a random drawing afterwards. I've got 2 metal covers, faux covers. They are featuring my artwork. I'm going to auction these off to 2 of the backers. We'll have to wait for, make sure everybody has their pledges went through and everything else. So once I have the list of everybody's pledges being collected, I'm going to do a live drawing of, I'll do a randomized number, and whatever backer has that backer number is who will get each of these. So I'll be doing 2 of those. So those, I usually sell these for what are these at? It's so long I forget what I sell these at shows. I got to look up my price list, but about $30 or something like that. Right. So I'll be auctioning those off to 2 lucky backers. And let's go to the reward here. The grand finale reward. It's a really good package here. $40, $85 worth of product. Here you go. The grand finale. You get free PDF download. You get a signed copy of the unlimited edition of Wretched Realms. You get a copy of each of the limited edition covers. The one by Sergio Cariello in black and white. The limited cover by me. And the limited cover by Kevin E. Meinert, which I've got to pull up here. We'll go to that next. And then the free 4x6 sketch, a Bardstone keychain, and your name added to the thank you page in the digital edition. Here we go. There's Kevin's cover. Love how this came out.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. Really liked how the Grim Reaper turned out. So.
Yep, very good. And I once again, going back to old school covers like you did kind of with Sergio's, it tells a tale. You also have Can the Renegade Outrun the Hangman? Dun, dun, dun.
I bought my prop for that one. So now I got his name's Bill.
Oh,
so Bill now sits on my desk. So I have my little reference for Bill.
Is that a random bill or a reference to a specific bill?
No, just a random bill. So,
random bill.
Random bill. But when I'm out here sometimes working, I get lonely, and then Bill talks to me. It depends on how much.
I don't have
how much beer I've
had. I have a head that sits by my bed. It's Abraham Lincoln. It's the bust of Abraham Lincoln from his death mask that they did after he was shot.
Do you know how I'm holding a skull, and that's less creepy than what you just said?
I used to have a wall. I used to have a wall of faces and heads. I used to collect the castings from actors.
What are you, the governor?
Yeah, right? It was so cool, but everyone told me it was creepy.
It had all the heads of gefilte fish jars,
Yeah. Unfortunately, when I moved, because these are castings, a lot of them got bumped up in the move, and I ended up just getting rid of them. But I had Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart. So a lot of these were castings done of these actors' faces for various movies, and then people somehow got a hold of the molds and then made multiple castings of their face, and then they bronze them to make them look like bronze. Like they put the dark paint over it and then the lighter paint over, so every crevice you can see the darks and stuff. But right. I had Peter. Grand Moff Tarkin, Peter Cushing. I had Peter Cushing. I had Christopher Lee from back when he did the Hammer horror films.
Nice.
Patrick Stewart from Star Trek. I had Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek. I believe it was from Star Trek 3. So I had this wall of faces and heads, and I really liked it. But a lot of people would come in and be like, that is so crazy. That would be my living room. It was all these faces. They had some really cool ones too that were like from the shoulders up, where they did full head cast. But anyways, unfortunately, that collection's long gone. My last one is my Abraham Lincoln head. So I've got that at the side of my bed. I've got a pair of sunglasses on them.
Well, at least they're all castings, like you said, from the neck up and not the waist down. So
that's
less
the
creepy,
coolest one, but it was too expensive. You know, when I used to collect these, the coolest one was there was one of Angelina Jolie, which was from here up, and it went almost the full head. It went just a small part of the back was flat. Most of them are here, like from the in front of the ears forward. That's the majority of them. Sometimes you would get one that would get under the chin and behind the ears, but that Angelina Jolie one was really cool. Just because of how full it was. You got the full neck all the way around. And I used to collect all these. I thought it was really cool, but other people thought it was creepy.
That must have been from Tomb Raider. Didn't they have they made her look like she was old, like they did
could have been
future, I think.
Yeah. What's also interesting, especially with the women, was because we see women with makeup. Well, with the castings there, it's a solid color. So you don't get any of the makeup effect. And so you see what they look like without makeup too, which is just interesting because Julia Roberts had a really interesting face cut. She looks so different because what you notice is her lipstick really defines her lip line. Whereas without the lipstick, you see it changes the way they look. So anyways,
yeah,
that was my weird doll too. That was my weird collection back in the day.
Yeah.
It is cool though, because how often do you get to see these people face to face? Well, I had all their faces. I'm like a super villain, the face collector.
This is getting worse the longer it goes. I'd stay up late at night and have conversations.
Yeah, they would talk to me. What's wrong with that?
Oh, Jesus.
We get into arguments.
Good times.
Yeah.
So how about you guys? You guys have any weird collections or just collections in general that maybe people would look at you weird for?
No. I got all my toys. I got stuff like that. So I mean, people probably go, "Well, you're just a man child." I mean, I can get that one, but this is my newest. I put them together today from the box set. So
nice.
It's a kid's toy, but how cool is it? And the thing is that
here. Let's get you a full screen. There you go.
The Baby Yoda flips around in the bonnet part too much, so he's always falling down. So, but and what's cool though is this part. Shoot.
Whoa. Oh.
Yeah, poke an eye out with that thing.
I hit the wall and I gotta go find it. But actually, Doug's he's looking at me like, what the hell?
So is your Ahsoka still mint in box?
Yeah, I got Ahsoka's still mint in box. Nice. It's my Star Wars toys, and then I got another. It's Mandalorian Mondays are now, and I'm getting a lot of glare, but. This was just really cool. These are available in Walmart right now while supplies last. And then for me, it's most of my collection stuff is still it's centered around movies, so it's either toys or obscure movies that not a lot of people know.
Rad.
And I've got I got my Blu-ray somewhere of Monster Squad, but I have that digitally now. I was watching the Monster Squad documentary before it popped on here. Nice. Wolfman's Got Nards, and it's just. Such a great movie. I'm so glad it's finally getting the the recognition it should have got, but it got buried back in the 80s because it came out 2 weeks after Lost Boys. That was just such a monster hit.
Right.
So, and then I have some fun trading cards. You might recognize that, Scott.
Hey, who's that handsome man there?
Yeah.
There you go.
So here, I'll put it back on. There we go. Yep.
That's my Stormtrooper card.
I got a few of those.
How to go out in public and do troops. We haven't done troops in a long time.
And I got my statue sitting up here too, so I just
nice.
There you go.
You have pins, don't you, Brett? Like Disney pins, enamel pins.
Yeah. I got somewhere around here. I got
Rachel, our friend, mutual friend Rachel Kaiser, now Rachel Boggs.
Yeah.
Married to our awesome friend Doug Boggs. They also collect pins. They have a great Disney pass, but Brett's walking away, so I can't tell him now. Oh, you can hear me. So,
I can hear you.
She has a great way of displaying her pins in her house. When you walk in, she has these frames with it's like a canvas she put on into each picture, and she pokes the pins right on it. So when you walk in, she has a nice display of all their collection of pins.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice because it makes it a talking point. Whereas a lot of times those kind of collections kind of get put in a book and hidden somewhere.
Yeah. On my board back there, I have a few of the ones I have collected. Some are Disney. It's hard to see because Dockie's opening the door, but I got a few obscure ones I've gotten from different people that create their own pins, things like that, as well as hand colored original coloring book page from Jill.
Oh,
there you go.
Kevin, I know you do like to collect original sketches. You like to get sketches from.
I like the art.
Shows.
Yeah. Over the years, I collect some of the comics, but I limit myself to a lot of the old horror comics and stuff. But I'll have a list of like maybe 5 books when we're in the convention year, and I'm only looking for those 5 books. It keeps me from spending a lot of money.
Until you find those 5 books.
And then I pick 5 more out, but I really limit myself. But what I would or do drop some coin on is, the original art from some of the artists. If there are people I've really liked or enjoyed, I try to go out and either at least get a sketch or something from them. And my office has quite a bit, on the walls now that I have some room. So it's a way of having a piece of, the original art. Like we tell anybody else, you can buy a poster, you can buy a print, you can buy the books, but getting an original piece of art is great. Sketchbook. Yeah, I've got a nice big sketchbook too.
Yeah, this is one of my notebooks, but I use it for ideas, and I got a sketchbook somewhere here with all kinds of sketches I've gotten over the years at shows.
Well, sketchbook used to be really big at shows. I really don't see people doing it much anymore.
Not very much.
Yeah, nice big sketchbooks with just amazing art throughout it.
Yeah. Few and far between. When I do see one now, it's kind of like whatever is in there is phenomenal. Yeah. I mean, if people still have sketchbooks and they give it to you, it's really you got to make sure you do something nice in this, because that's a collector. That's someone that really wants original art, and they always get a little something extra whenever I see a sketchbook anymore.
Well, for me personally, it's like that competitive spirit kind of goes in. It's like I look through and I see all the great art, and it's like, okay, I want to live up to what they've got in this book,
Right.
And it's kind of like my personal challenge to meet or exceed expectations based upon what the rest of the book is. And that's kind of what we have here, where whether it's Crimson Shadows, Poe Macabre Master, or now Wretched Realms, our collaborative process, it sparks that fun, creative competitiveness where, like with Kevin, he went all out to do the colors for that cover because he didn't want to be the weak link. He didn't want to be the one that,
right.
Right. So exactly. But it's in a fun, competitive way, not like oh my God, I better do this.
Yeah. No, like we talked to do before, it pushes you outside of boundaries, but it also, like you said, it's to have that, that motivation just to, you want to live up to the artwork when you're doing something. It's different than if when I'm the one that did the artwork, or, or even if I'm coloring or inking, stuff from you guys. To have something like from Sergio, it just really raises the bar, and you want to make sure you're on par with that. And like I said, it's a great motivator. And like I said, I couldn't be happier, because when I started out, I did not think it was going to look like that at all.
Right.
it's amazing with a few tips and some suggestions from Scott and everybody, for a few of the colors and stuff, and a lot of reviewing of other people's artwork, which is a lot of what I do. I love to go through and see what other people have done. I love looking and seeing other people's styles, and I've never ventured. Go ahead. Yeah, I've never ventured very far outside. I've stuck with pretty much the same coloring style when I was doing all the fan art or anything else, just because you get into a mode, and you crank those things out. I didn't venture very far from that style until we started doing the books.
Right. Yeah, and one thing with Kevin, people may not know is, and I don't know if you even consider yourself this way, but you're like a student of the industry. Like when we go to shows, I'm always amazed how many people's names and what books they worked on, and you have a really good grasp. Like for me, I'm clueless. Usually I have no idea who someone is, but when I look up the art, I'm like, oh, I know that. Okay, I know them now. I know them through the art. But
right.
The names and the faces and what books they were on. And I always enjoy hearing you when we walk a show floor. Before a show opens, a lot of times all of us are walking around. We're networking, catching up with old friends before the craziness of the show starts. And as we walk around, Kevin will be like, oh, there's so-and-so who did this. And I'm always like, I always enjoy hearing all that because I don't know it. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think it's all the years of making up for when I was, 16, 18, even younger, 12. And I would have killed to go to a Comic-Con, one until I was 22 and acted like I was a 12-year-old, but, so I grew up, looking at the artwork and memorizing the names. And unless they were someone that was popped up in Wizard magazine where you got to see a picture of them, you didn't think that much about it. That's the only time you'd ever see what they look like. Right. So there's a lot of those 90s artists when I'm walking around, Comic-Con, I wouldn't recognize them if I saw them, but I'm going to recognize the art. And I'll be like, oh, that's what that guy looks like. Oh, that dude's a chick. Things like that.
Right?
I totally had that wrong.
Speaking of people who were part of the process, I want to give a shout out to Shara Lima. She was our color flatter, did a phenomenal
and it's her
job.
Birthday.
Yeah,
happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh. Yes.
Look at that. I didn't even know. We got to send a cake.
All the way to Brazil.
All the way to Brazil. And that's our little Brazil connection there. We got Shara Lima from Brazil, and then Sergio Cariello is also from Brazil originally. So we got quite the Brazil connection going on. So maybe we'll become like a top seller down there. Maybe they'll invite us down to a Comic-Con down there. That'd be nice. I'd love to go to Brazil.
Rio de Janeiro,
that's right. But
Carnival.
She did a phenomenal job on the color flats. If you don't know what color flats are, here's a great sample in her portfolio book. On the far left here, you see what the inked pages look like. And she goes in and she separates everything out into solid colors. This is a huge step in the process for finishing a book because it's a tedious part of the job, and but a very important one. And then once they get this done, it makes the coloring so much faster for the final colors because you can just grab this area, do your shades and highlights and move on. So, and then you see what it looks like with her flats and the inks combined on the far right.
So the flatting is also a big part of the continuity. To flat and get those colors consistently through the entire process to make sure, when you have someone that their main focus is just to make sure that continuity is there and that base color is a huge, huge help in the end of producing a comic.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if you need a color flatter, I highly recommend Shara. She's professional. She was on time. She was fast. And I definitely plan on using her again for future work. If you need a final colorist also, whereas I'm doing the final colors myself, her husband does the final colors. So you can hire them as a team to do the flats and full color. So I highly recommend them both. They do a great job.
Yeah, his finals are amazing looking too.
Very much so. This is a great example here where you see Wolverine all torn up. You see the color flats, and then when they combine. I mean, right there, you could almost make that finished art by itself. Yeah. I mean, it looks wonderful just like that. So,
well, you realize, in the 80s and 70s, there wasn't much more color than that. I mean, they did a few, color transitions because it was all watercolor.
But it was pretty much this with what was that called? Zip tone or
zip tone for the grays, and then you'd have a little bit of saturation of some color. But I mean, most pages looked exactly like that.
Right. Yeah, this would be almost final colors back in the day.
Well, and that was the old style too. That's why the Kirby artwork is so beautiful, or Bashima and Frazetta, things like that, where you had they had to convey the darkness with the inks. So that's why you had the old artwork that had so many great blacks in it. And Kirby stuff, I mean, most of it I don't like seeing in color because I want to see just what he did with the inks. So all you had to do was put some basic color on top of it, and okay, that's good. I mean, Kirby stuff is basically flatted, and that's it. There's not much more than that because everything else is in the artwork.
Yeah, his inks are just so rich. You don't need to add to it.
Right.
So if you need a color flatter, I recommend Shara Lima. If you go to artstation.com and look her up, SHARA Lima. Let me go to her main page here and share her link. Copy. I'll post her link. So if you want a color flatter,
I'll definitely be using her for some of the stuff for Poe Macabre Master issue 2.
Yeah, I'm planning on using her for Crimson Shadows issue 2, assuming she's willing to still work with us. No, she was awesome, and I think she enjoyed working with us as well. So
she's just a peach. I talked to her a few times online, and I at least have a little bit of a connection with. I've traveled, internationally enough, and my day job, we have an office in Brazil. So I talked to a lot of people from Brazil. On
all right, basis. Kevin, there you go. We got to find a Comic-Con in Brazil. Get your work to send you during that week.
There's one in Rio. I know that.
All right, we got to make it happen. We're international. Yeah. We've done Paris. We got to do we haven't done the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
I'd love to get down to Australia myself. So.
Yeah. I don't think we're going anywhere outside of the country for a very long time.
Yeah,
unfortunately, not after all the news today. So,
yeah, Germany and France shutting down again.
Yeah, that's okay. It's gonna disappear. We'll be traveling next year.
We'll be traveling. I don't see us traveling internationally. I work for an international company I don't see us traveling for work next year.
Jacob's popping in there and wants to know if we are funded yet.
We are funded.
But you can still support Jacob. Jump on in. Get your books.
He pledged last week.
Yep, he did pledge.
Okay, good.
Here, let's get a current read on our screen here. Wretched Realms. So Jacob missed, he's joining us now. We're at 2388. So we're just short of our stretch goal. So if somebody wants to go in, we get us across the finish line, 2,500 for the stretch goal. But Jacob, what you missed is our conversation earlier, and it was on Odd Musings as well, for Rhino Boom. Nice. I got my copy. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So interested to see where the story goes for Rhino Boom.
I just got to read it.
Yeah, I read mine today when we had our technical difficulties with Odd Musings. Brett's computer suddenly decided to do a update or something. All right, cool. I'll cancel my pledge. No, we're not funded yet. We lied.
we need another stretch goal. Get us to the stretch goal.
Stretch goal, yeah. Stretch goals. It's all about stretch goals. So, but we're very happy where we're at. We got 9 minutes to go. We gotta get the theme music going for Final Countdown.
Right. I did get my Roadkill Rampage. Redneck Rampage. Wasn't that a game back in the day?
Probably.
I think it was.
I think it was.
There it is there.
Yeah.
Roadkill Rampage from Hasm. So that we got that this week too. So
that was a blast.
It's been a great Kickstarter week. I love getting my Kickstarter packages in the mail. And then along with Roadkill Rampage, I got their reward that got me some of the other titles of theirs. So I still have to read those. Looking forward to that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So how about we give everyone an update on Bardstone on our projects? Brett, you're aiming for Boomtown Scabs #5 this upcoming year.
Yeah, I'm going to actually probably end up not doing a Kickstarter with that issue. I'll just self-publish it.
Okay.
And that way I can get out there with the others. I got a lot of people waiting for that, but definitely looking to do a trade. And with the trade, then with a Kickstarter, I'll definitely add stuff in to make it worthwhile. And then stretch goals may hinder on actually adding in maybe an extra short story or something like that to it, as well as a good collection on that. And possibly even coloring the first issue, which was never in color.
Nice. So Brett's got that in the pipeline. We did talk about Rhino Boom earlier in this video, as well as on Odd Musings, Jacob. So we got Boomtown Scabs #5 in the works, and the full trade of all 5. Then Kevin, you've got Poe Macabre Master 2 and 3 going. Where are you at on both of those?
2 is 100% done. Literally all I have to do is send it off to the printer, which is a great place. It's a great.
We're talking February for that Kickstarter.
Somewhere around there. Well, again, everyone understands with the nature of everything that's going on right now that we'll see how things are going then. But
that is our next Kickstarter.
Yep. Early next year.
Yep. So that'll be our next Kickstarter in just a couple months. We're going to let the holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year season pass, let that settle, and then let you guys make your first payments on your credit card so you can open up a little room to start funding our next Kickstarter. So we got that one. And you also have Poe #3, which will be later in the year, but you've started that one.
Yep, got that started. Got a lot of the layouts done, some of the artwork done. Got the guest artist for the cover, which I won't say much about yet, which I'm super happy. Another person I've always enjoyed his artwork. Super excited for that. That's coming along really well. And then like Brett was saying, I'll collect the 3 issues into a trade paperback. That'll probably be early in 2022. But that will include a brand new story in that. So that's the plan for Poe for the next little over a year.
Yep. So we got that. Then we got Crimson Shadows 2 in the works. So we'll have Poe Macabre Master 2 as our next Kickstarter. The planned Kickstarter after that will be Crimson Shadows 2. That one's fully written, fully penciled and laid out. We got, or I should say, initial rough pencils are done. Final pencils, we're up to page 18 roughly. So what is that, like about 70%?
Yeah.
Well, 28 pages. So whatever that math comes out to, so a little more than half, 60.
and then 6 inking. So.
Yeah, we're doing inking. So we're working on that. I'm finishing up Wretched Realms issue 1 right now, as far as final inks and final colors. So that I'm on track to have that done on time. And Crimson Shadows 3 and 4 are fully written. And then Wretched Realms 2 we'll start working on with short stories to add into those coming up. So that's kind of a very rough synopsis of our upcoming one. So we've got a lot in the pipeline, really. I mean, you figure just for the 3 of us, we're like comic book ninjas here.
And the further along we go, the more we'll be leaning on people like Shara and some other hopeful friends to assist. So
Yeah, we're spreading our wings and getting, we're starting to get guest artists like Sergio, and Kevin's got a great one he'll be adding to his book there. So each Kickstarter, we're slowly, we're growing upon what we did in the past Kickstarter, and we're trying to take it to another level each time. And I couldn't be happier with where we're at.
Yeah, I'm super excited with it. And Sean Forney and Jay Fife are both in Poe issue 2. Yep. So looking forward to getting to show off what they've done with that, because Jay's story that he did for me is amazing, and Sean's cover was fantastic. So I couldn't be happier with that. And again, by the time we hit an actual convention and see human beings in the flesh, we're gonna have a nice rack of comics to show off. It's gonna be a night and day difference by the time we do the next show versus the last.
People are gonna see us and say, "Nice rack."
Nice rack. That's right.
I like Jacob's question. What new projects do you have coming up? And then a little winky face, because we just got done talking about that. So I'm assuming the winky face means he is being sarcastic. If not, you can replay it later. Final 3 minutes. Get over there, guys. Wretched Realms on Kickstarter. There's an awesome $40 pledge there. It's called the Grand Finale. It makes you eligible for the free sketch. It's got $85 worth of rewards total with it. If you don't want that, just pledge $40 and choose add-ons. You can get a low cost one, but if you want to get in on the Crimson Shadows and Poe Kickstarters we had before, we have them as add-ons. We have digital editions and all kinds of stuff. T-shirts, great swag you can get from our previous Kickstarters as well. So we're in the final 2 minutes, people. How's Hawkins doing?
He's attacking my hand, so he's sitting here like, see?
It's the stress, the anticipation. What are we going to do? Are we going to hit 25 or not?
Yeah.
So now, if somebody wants to pledge like 1,600, that will add another 6 pages of content to the book. So go pledge 1,600 in the next 2 minutes, and I will throw your likeness into the 6-page story.
Look at that. Get the seconds countdown now. 150 seconds.
I know, right?
Oh, here we go. The countdown.
Yeah.
It's like a bomb. Doesn't it throw confetti when it hits the finish line?
Yeah, so don't refresh. Just let it do its thing.
Just let it do its thing. Okay. Here we go.
It's always fun.
This is like...
See, this is when we need Stanley Pistowski. You waited for the final minute. Here it is.
It is. That's right. You get to drink from the fire hose.
Yeah, I think the first Kickstarter I ever did, I mistimed my own end. So I remember I got the email that it got funded. I'm like, oh, look, something got funded. I'm like, I got funded. Oh my God, it was me.
How did that happen?
I was off by like a day. I'm like, wait, it's over. What do you mean? So I got
final minute.
Fun.
If you guys want that stretch goal, got to get that final money, and we got to get above 2,500. We'll have that awesome mini print of Sergio's inks and Kevin's colors. We're still going to make those, but they just won't be given as rewards. We'll be selling them at shows.
Yes.
So, whoa.
Wow.
Hawkins could be his own character on a show.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the mood to play again.
Thanks,
and we got James. Thank you, James. James has been a great supporter. He's been part of all of our Kickstarters here.
Yeah.
For Bardstone.
Great local guy.
Yeah. 14, 13. Here we go. Do we count down in different language for, let's see, Brazil? What are they? Portuguese? I don't know Portuguese. I can't do Portuguese. 3,
Brazilian 4,
2,
Brazilian 3,
1,
Brazilian 2,
0. There it is. Fireworks.
Hey, confetti.
This is how we do fireworks for COVID.
There it is.
Hey. Yep. All of our alerts are going off. And hopefully all of yours too. So
yeah, there it is. Got the message.
So another successful Kickstarter. This is our third Kickstarter for Bardstone alone in like 4 months. So we're doing good.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody who took part in this. Thank you, Brett and Kevin, for all your hard work. Thank you, Shara Lima. Thank you, Sergio Cariello. I'd like to thank the Academy. No.
Right.
So
the left wing, the right wing, the bottom wing.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. Now for the hard part, finish up the book, which is just 1 or 2 weeks away from finishing up. And then, get my artist proofs, get the final copies. I've set the schedule, though, for delivery to be in January of 2021 to buy me a little extra time since, you usually have delays anyways because of Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. But also with COVID, things can go slower. So my goal is to try to be faster, but I'm putting a deadline of January on there just so, in case there's bumps.
Right. Yep.
Cool.
Under promise, over deliver.
Yes. That's our theory.
And that's that's been the thing with us. And Sean has them. Jacob gets the books out right away if people we like to deal with. I was looking through the Kickstarters again, back project. I got one from 5 years ago. They post like, we're still trying. And I'm going, you should have got it out.
Yeah, they're not trying. If you couldn't finish it during COVID, you're not doing it.
Oh no, the book's supposedly done. They keep having printer issues, and but they're looking overseas.
5 years.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a hardcover, so they're looking overseas. I'm going, there's got to be somebody here in the States that could do it. But
it sounds like what they did is
don't have the money.
They spent the money already. Yeah,
yeah.
They spent their money on other things.
Yeah.
But so now they need somebody to do it for next to nothing. But hey, if you guys have a Kickstarter, we have Odd Musings every Wednesday. Did you know you can sponsor our show? And for just $50, we'll talk about your Kickstarter for the entire hour of that show. So if you do want to do that, give us a call and we'll gladly book you for Odd Musings to cover your project. Just $50 for an episode. That's awesome. It if you want. And then we have packages if you want us to cover you throughout the entire Kickstarter, kind of like we do here, where it's a weekly thing. We'll talk about you every week. That's obviously an added cost, but we will gladly cover your Kickstarter. Right?
Yeah. Fantastic.
All right. Yep. Yeah, Kevin doesn't know it. We're hiring him out.
They're like, hey, wait, what? What am I doing? Okay. Just tell me where to be and what time.
Be like, color, monkey, color.
Color.
Dance, make sure you wear the outfit of Sean Connery in that one movie.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God. I know what you're talking about. With the ponytail.
Yeah.
The red unitard G-string.
Sean Connery
looks like Borat wearing just
like
Sargoff
or something like that, or
red outfit.
That's not good.
I gotta pull it up here. Here we go. There we go. We gotta share it. It's just too iconic to not share.
That's just that just has literally like, oh my God.
Wow. Zardoz.
Yeah, look at all the people though. You got up there all the ones that are the cosplayers.
Can you you gotta imagine though? Can you imagine being an actor and it's like, oh, I got this role, I'm so excited. Then you show up for the costume fitting and like, here's your costume.
I ain't wearing that. Here's your check. I'm wearing that.
Yeah, but you think they would have thrown in some waxing? You know what I mean? Just
he's probably like, nope, not waxing.
Yeah, the movie's named Zardoz. I don't even. Have either of you have ever seen that?
No. I'll have to maybe consider looking to see if it's available to watch because I've seen that post before.
Was he from the planet Pubis? Maybe. I mean, Jesus.
He's Zardoz or the hairy palms. I
was gonna say, does he fight like just like playing like skin people, no hair, hairless people, and the evil aliens?
What's funny is this is the only picture I know from it. Let's see here. We got. I've never even seen this.
Well, it looks like he could rent it on like Vudu and Amazon and YouTube and all that.
And he's got quite the mustache going too. We overlooked the mustache. So there's some interesting stuff going on here. Wow. Do you feel lucky? Hey, Alex Trebek. Shut this.
Yeah. He's probably like, you don't like it, Trebek? Your mom does.
You know how Barbara Eden did the showed she could still wear the genie outfit at age 80.
Yeah.
We gotta see if Sean Connery can still wear this.
I'll tell you, it's not a cheap DVD. It's like $45.
Man. Oh, here we go. The ultimate comparison.
Oh. It probably was very awkward the first day of shooting on Dr. No. Well, when he walked on set with that, I'm like,
I gotta tell you, this guy
that looks like Rob Schneider.
It does.
This guy, I think
he's got the Nintendo gun. Has he got the Nintendo gun?
I think so.
There we go. $13.25 for a Blu-ray. That Zardoz.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, she used to be in a bunch of stuff, didn't she?
Who's that?
Whoever this girl is in the picture with him. She looks familiar. Then we got Sting's awesome outfit. These are cosplays I will never have to worry about wearing.
No.
Too funny. Anyways, what the heck?
Oh. There you go.
It only gets worse the more you look into it. Oh my! And there you have it. That's our. The chick had more clothes than he did.
Right?
I should get the rights to that movie to a comic. You know who would actually probably pull it off really well is McFarlane there, Todd McFarlane.
Oh my God, he make action figures out of it.
No, not Todd McFarlane. I cannot think. It's past. It's like I'm already in like time zone change.
Are you talking about Seth MacFarlane? If he's gonna remake it?
Oh,
Orville. Yeah. Like
that
would be a great cameo. Have them land on a planet where they're all him.
That would be a great episode of the Orville where they land on a planet and that's the outfit they make them wear. Yeah. I could actually see that happening on the episode.
The robot come out wearing it.
Yeah. This is the local fashion. Oh, I could actually see that popping up on
that Seth MacFarlane, if you're listening, make it happen.
Yeah, he'll probably end up doing it as a Family Guy episode. We'll have Peter Griffin run around in that episode.
Yeah. So
Chris will be running around going,
Well, everyone, it's past 8 o'clock now, so we're going to wrap this up. But thank you once again. Another successful Kickstarter. Now for the hard part, wrapping it up, finishing it up, getting the printing done, doing all the order fulfillment. That's the real fun part that we all look forward to.
Always the fun part.
That's right. So once again, thank you to you guys. You've been a big part of it. Appreciate it. And until our next Kickstarter in February, probably, we'll still be doing other videos and stuff, but we hope everyone has a wonderful Halloween, Thanksgiving, Festivus, Christmas, New Year's, everything else that you want to do. All right, guys.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks, Jacob.
All right. Take care. We're signing out.